Think about a prisoner who is about to get freed in 2 weeks and his last ray of hope is taken away from him as he is killed by his cellmate. As creepy as it sounds, this is a sad reality for a few. This video is going to be all about the insane prisoners who killed their cellmates and how they reacted to their life sentences. When someone is already doing time for murdering somebody, it possibly becomes easy to kill for the second time. Or these insane prisoners had some other reason? First case is of 2 prisoners who dismembered another prisoner so they could eat his liver. At Frankland Prison in County Durham, Michael Parr, 33, and Nathan Mann, 24, who were serving life sentences in adjacent cells, discussed thoughts of murder. Mitchell Harrison, 23, was persuaded inside Mann's cell, where Parr held him down, while Mann used a razor blade and a scalpel fashioned from plastic cutlery to sever his neck. Harrison was also stabbed in the eye with a pen by Mann, who a doctor called a remorseless, cruel psychopath who harbors cannibalistic inclinations, and once Harrison was dead, Mann sliced open his stomach. The court heard that he and Parr had intended to split Harrison's liver in 2 and share it, but they were unable to bring themselves to do it. On October 1, 2011, while prisoners were being let out of their cells, Harrison, who was serving an indeterminate sentence for raping a 13-year-old girl in Kendall, Cumbria in 2009, was discovered dead. Both males presented a gross and evident danger according to the judge, Justice Openshaw. He sentenced Mann to life in prison with a minimum of 16 years to begin at the completion of his current sentence, and jailed Parr for life with a minimum term of 32 years. Mann won't be eligible for release until he has served 40 years in prison. Each man spoke only to confirm his name. Neither entered a plea. Next is Jamie Osuma. At Corcoran State Prison, Jamie Osuna murdered, dismembered, and beheaded over the course of one night. Jamie was accused of removing several of Romero's body parts. A sharp weapon wrapped in strings and attached to a handle was used. Prison guards found Romero's body in his cell in the morning. Even the attorney was shocked at the gruesomeness of the crime. Osuna was accused with murder, torture, mayhem, and possessing weapons. His actions were done with the goal to cause severe and extreme pain and suffering for the purpose of retribution, extortion, persuasion, and for a sadistic motive, according to the torture accusation. Osuna was sentenced to life in prison in 2017 after admitting guilt to the murder of a 37-year-old woman in a motel in 2011. He was sent to a prisoner mental correction hospital after entering a not guilty plea for this crime. Stephen Sanderson. The 67-year-old Dyer, a native of Grand Haven who was serving a 25-year minimum term for first-degree criminal sexual conduct against a child under the age of 13, was killed by Sanderson, 51, who admitted guilt to second-degree murder in February. Sanderson already has a life sentence without the possibility of parole after killing his girlfriend in Wayne County in 1991. The following day, Sanderson confessed to the police that he had questioned Dyer about his conviction and that he had started to physically assault Dyer when Dyer would not stop attempting to deny or defend it. Sanderson choked Dyer with his own shoelaces after knocking him out. He stated he is not remorseful when he admitted guilt before Borchard. "I don't feel bad for what I did," he said. "I feel bad for maybe his family or something, but as far as remorse toward him, no. I just did what I thought was best in the time I was given," Sanderson continued. "I've been getting these emails saying that, it's not my position to judge anybody. I want to make it quite clear that I didn't judge him. I know God is the only judge we have. I just set the appointment up." Patrick Schroeder. Schroeder was receiving a life sentence for the 2006 murder of a 75-year-old man in Pawnee County. Schroeder killed Terry Berry Jr., his cellmate, in 2017, who was in for a financial felony and was about to get out in 2 weeks. Schroeder said he choked Berry because of his constant chattering while they were watching television. Berry's family filed a lawsuit, claiming that the placement of Berry in a cell with Schroeder by prison officials contributed to his death. In a settlement, Nebraska agreed to give Berry's family $479,000. Schroeder took the uncommon step of continuing the court case, even though he was not going to be represented by the state-appointed attorneys. The attorneys once put forth a motion to deem Nebraska's execution procedure unlawful. Schroeder rejected that attempt and gave up his right to legal representation in further cases. It's quite an irony that prisoners who are doing time as a means of correction end up committing a crime. Who is to blame, though? Aren't the prison authorities responsible for the safety of the prisoners?